this might be my last video until I update my phone so I can hopefully get the YouTube app back and post all these videos. So now I'm still on sports, so let's continue with the sports reports, Star Point Sports. So as I was going with it, Jordan Tamu, the next up on this list. I hope to God that he does get drafted, but I definitely once again either don't see him getting drafted or I see him getting drafted in the low rounds. But I definitely hope that he does get drafted because I would love to see him compete out there, honestly. For example, what's the kid's name? Uh, I forgot. Shea Patterson. Supposedly next year is the year Shea Patterson's coming out as well. I believe so. That's another key thing I need everybody to understand. If guys like Shea Patterson comes out, next year, which I think he has to, but if he comes out next year, that's one of the topics I'm trying to express to everybody. If guys like Shea Patterson come out next year, you have to realize that that is part of being the year of the quarterbacks. Like, that's why I say guys like Jordan Tamu, possibly Gardner, Minshew, etc. They're possibly not getting drafted, or if they get drafted, they're not getting drafted high. Because I'm telling you, if these teams pick them up, these teams are not picking these guys up to actually truly develop them. They're just picking them up to have somebody on their roster as a stopgap for the minute, to fill a roster spot. Clayton Thorson is another one of those quarterbacks. Northwestern got destroyed versus Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. So I'm sorry for Clayton Thorson, another guy I don't even see him getting drafted. I authentically do not. And if he gets drafted, I still authentically do not see it going extremely well for him in terms of I don't see him, like I say, I don't see him being the full future. I see him probably going out there and throwing picks all over the place. I don't see him being the full future, but that's just me. Jordan Tamu, like I say, I hope he does get drafted, and I hope that he does make something of it. Jarrett Stidham, he will get drafted. Why? He does, like Will Grier, have a poppin' name. A very poppin' and popular name. So I definitely see Jarrett Stidham getting drafted as well. Just don't know which round, but he definitely will get drafted. Probably in the third, fourth round. Ryan Finley, another guy who did have a poppin' name. He as well will be drafted. The ironic part about Finley is that Ryan Finley from NC State, only problem with him is that he's actually from Arizona. I think it'd be so dope if he actually got to return home and got drafted to Arizona. Now, I don't know which round he would get drafted to Arizona in, but I think that'd be dope if he did because he's from Arizona. So I think that would be extremely dope of him to get drafted there, honestly. Extremely dope for Ryan Finley to get drafted to Arizona. He's from there, so he's got a popping name like Jarrett Stidham and Will Grier, so I definitely see him getting drafted as well. Clayton Thorson next on this list, like I said, I don't see him getting drafted at all, and if he does, probably if Teddy Bridgewater does not resign, I definitely see Clayton Thorson getting drafted to the Saints, possibly. Don't get me wrong, one or two of these guys will get drafted to a team like the Saints. One or two of these guys will definitely get drafted to a team like the Saints. And I want everybody to top dog realize it's the fact being you have to look at the market of all these quarterbacks that are in the league right now versus look at the market of the guys that are coming out this year and then the guys that are coming out in 2020 and guys that are coming out in 2021. The market does not project that there's a lot of jobs for a lot of these guys. Now, the Alliance of American Football has definitely taken a little bit of an edge off of with some of these guys, Like, some of these guys definitely have a future of playing grounds, even if it's not in the NFL. But the problem is, the Alliance of American Football just started. So how many of these guys that fall through the cracks, of the NFL, how many of these guys who fall through the cracks of the NFL do you obviously think are about to get signed to a Alliance of American Football team, the AAF? How many of these guys do you authentically think are about to get drafted to one of those teams or signed? I don't think so. I don't think at all any of them are about to get drafted to any of those teams. I don't think. The XFL, I'm saying the best chance for some of these guys who definitely don't get drafted in this draft and the 2019 draft. 2020 draft, 2021 draft. The best bet for a lot of these guys that I'm naming that probably won't even get drafted or even make the team. The best bet is going to the XFL. The best bet, because I'm telling you this. The Alliance of American Football, I don't see them cutting. Well, actually, they could cut some of these guys. I don't know. But I don't see them cutting any of the guys they got on their rosters right now, unless they keep on getting keep on getting lit up. Like Matt Sims got lit up and like Bear Vici got lit up. I swear those guys got lit up last night. So I mean, other than that, I don't see them getting drafted very much. I don't see them getting. I mean, I hope that all these guys on this paper do get drafted, because I want the young guys to come in and succeed. God bless the NFL, but I want a lot of these NFL guys, these old vets, retire already. And I mean old vets of like, I want a Drew Brees to retire already. I want a Tom Brady to retire already. Joe Flacco, Alex Smith, a couple guys I can name, probably even Ben Roethlisberger, retire already. And why do I say to retire already? Because I want these young guys. I want these young guys to come in here, wreck this league, make a name for themselves. I want these young guys to get that opportunity that they are so desperately starving for. So what that means is, I want these old guys, if they don't, I want these old guys to retire and go into coaching. I think each and every last one of them should go into coaching. Because I'm telling you, I think a lot of these guys, their best days of playing football, quarterback position, I think a lot of these guys, their best days are behind them. Not to say they can't still throw the rock around a little bit, but trust me, their best days for the most part are behind them. Big Ben is not as mobile as he used to be. I definitely believe that Big Ben is one of those names that I'm telling you, he should just go and retire. You know, I think he definitely should. And ladies and gentlemen, these are just my opinions that once again nobody has to agree with. But I'm definitely saying you have to measure it out. You have to measure it out and put it into perspective and put it into, you know, how are we actually going to move forward, progress, and advance? How are we actually going to own things to where it's like I say, these young guys are not forgotten. I want these young guys to get their opportunity and chance now in the league or in one of these minor leagues. I'm not joking when I say that the Apollos, they might just replace the Jaguars for me, because the Jaguars, until they get a winning product on the field that I can be proud of, with a quarterback that I'm proud of, yeah, the Apollos is like my favorite team, I guess you could say. Nick Fitzgerald, 6'4". I could have sworn Nick Fitzgerald was a sophomore or a junior this past year. Turns out, I guess he might have taken more classes than I thought, to where now he's a senior. Nick Fitzgerald out of Mississippi State is coming out, and I believe Nick Fitzgerald will definitely get drafted. I don't know what team. I hope he gets drafted to the Jaguars. I would love to see him as a member of the Jaguars. I would love to see that. Anybody would be better than Blake, but I can rest assure you, certain guys would definitely be a huge step up. I just definitely see Clayton Thorson throwing picks everywhere. I just definitely see that. I see him throwing picks everywhere. I see Ryan Finley doing a decent enough job. And Easton Stick. Easton Stick is getting drafted to the Eagles to back up Carson Wentz once Nick Foles leaves. If Nick Foles leaves, I can rest assured you Easton Stick is getting drafted to them, because they both went to North Dakota State. I'm telling you that right now, that is going to happen. Next up, Trace McSorley. Now, Trace McSorley is another guy who I swear, I know one, he's getting drafted, but I wish he would get drafted to the Giants. But the only problem is I forgot that kid that they drafted out of the Senior Bowl last year, out of Richmond, that got the Senior Bowl MVP. I forgot that kid's name, but they drafted him out of the 4th round. And even when they drafted him, like when they drafted Davis Webb the previous year, you know, it wasn't them drafting him because they actually want to, you know, they actually believe in him as the future. I believe they just drafted him to have somebody to, you know, draft at that position, I think. So I don't really know. I'm just guessing there, but Trace McSorley, I definitely think Trace McSorley, he has the time, he has the potential. I definitely believe Trace McSorley, he should be reunited over there in New York, and with what's his name, Saquon Barkley, and I think Trace McSorley definitely should be Trace McSorley and Dwayne Haskins that gets drafted over there to the Giants. So we'll definitely see, ladies and gentlemen. We'll definitely see. Kyle Kempt, don't even see him getting drafted. And you're probably like, Nate, how can you say some of these teams, these guys aren't getting drafted? Because like I just said, so while some of these teams, they have their eyes set out for the 2020 draft. That's why. Some of these guys, they have their eyes set out either for the 2020 or the 2021 draft. That's how I can tell you they're not getting drafted. Some of these guys, that's why they're either not getting drafted or they're not getting drafted high because they're really only on that team as a placeholder. That's why. Because so many of these guys, I'm telling you right now, so many of these guys, these teams, they got their eyes out for the 2020 draft or the 2021 draft. That's why. And I can rest assure you, with that being said, I love the quarterback position getting younger and younger and younger. I would love for all 32 teams to be filled with some young quarterbacks that we can root for. I would love for every last one of them to be filled with a young quarterback that we can root for. But I can rest assure you, the only way that's going to happen is if some of these old guys retire. Some of these vets, seasoned vets like a Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco, Alex Smith, they retire. That's my best opinion. Or at least if you want them to start, they have to retire. And I'm just saying I really want to see these young guys shine. But yeah, Andrew Ford, don't see him getting drafted out of Massachusetts. Malik Rozier, if Malik Rozier gets drafted, he's getting drafted either to the Detroit Lions or he's getting drafted to Miami Dolphins out of Miami, Florida. Malik Rozier. Jake Browning, Washington, I predict he's going to Washington Redskins if they are smart enough to pick him. David Blau, I don't predict him to even get drafted, or if he does, he get drafted to the Saints. I don't know. So that's my list, ladies and gentlemen, of who's getting drafted and who's not. I might go into a deeper analysis. I don't know if I can go into a deeper analysis of this draft class, but we'll definitely see. I think I can go into deeper analysis of the success that I think all these quarterbacks can and or cannot have. But again, we'll see. Take care. God bless. It's me, your boy, the man, Injured to the City out. I could go into the school review, but I think I'd rather go ahead and try to update my phone and see if I can post the other videos first. So God bless you. Take care. Your boy, the man, Injured to the City. I got a lot of opinions. I'm still young. I'm 20 years old. I have a lot of opinions, and I want to unbiasedly share gracefully them with everybody as I possibly Jesus Christ Salvation can. So we'll see for the further advancement of all people where this stuff goes. Take care. Your boy, the man, Injured to the City out.